You are now in tune to the Keys to the City podcast.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Another edition of Keys to the City. I'm your host, Trevor Keys, alongside Ted Keys. You can check us out at Facebook.com, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and many more social media platforms, as well as ClovercrestMedia.com. Check out Keys to the City for more episodes and blogs from the Keys brothers. Ted, I'm amped up. I'm freaking ready to go. It's here. Happy NFL. The boys of fall are fully back. They are back. College football delivered last week. God, I hope tonight delivers. What a game we have for you tonight. We are mere hours away from one of the, well, I think on paper, the better star-studded opening games that we've seen in recent memory. You get the LA Rams, the defending champs in LA, in Hollywood. Here we go against the team that, Ted, let's be honest, and I don't know how our predictions are going to look. We're going to say all that in the next coming days. But everybody's team, that seems like the odds-on favorite, the betting odds, the Vegas people love them. Everybody loves them. It's the Buffalo Bills. And Ted, I'm going to get right into it. Are we looking? I know the Rams, and you look at this NFC conference, you look at these teams right now, the way a year ago, the Rams, they were this close, but they went out and made a huge splash, got Matthew Stafford because they felt like he wasn't good enough. Jared Goff was not good enough to win them a Super Bowl. Well, let's go forward a year later, and the LA Rams, I guess it delivered for them. The Buffalo Bills, this is the team that everybody's been talking about for years now. Here we go. Josh Allen, star-studded. Gabe Davis, the reemergence. Stephon Diggs. You got this dominant AFC team and a dominant AFC conference, and everybody's picking them. You look at these two teams, Ted. I mean, are we looking right now at a possible preview of Super Bowl 57, knowing what the Rams have in the NFC? There's not a lot of great competition. There's certain teams, maybe about 3 or 4 handful of teams that really seem like are going to come out of the NFC. And then the AFC, well, everybody's been on Buffalo, but I mean, we've talked about this AFC conference. Are we looking at a possible Super Bowl preview right here?
Well, I would say, remember last year's opening week wasn't too bad either. Dallas Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Oh yeah, you were down here a year ago. You were down
here
here a year ago. What a time that was. How time flies. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we were down at the Brews Room in Delray Beach. We were watching
some wings, having a great time.
And that was a pretty good game. That was a pretty good game considering though Dallas was
You don't remember? It was on the final play of the game. Brady went right down, kicked the game-winning field goal, and they won the game. It delivered.
Oh, I don't remember.
We might not remember. It was a long night.
That was a long week. That was a good week. That was a wild weekend too.
But you realistically look at this.
With that being said, absolutely, we could possibly seeing this as a preview of the Super Bowl. I think all expectations based on what you see to Vegas, and I know you hate this, but no team is favored more so this year than the Buffalo Bills. They had a stat this one where they were showing like where teams are like based on betting odds, and like the Bills are such front runners. They are the Super Bowl favorite. They're plus 600 right now to win the Super Bowl, followed by the Buccaneers, which I was surprised at plus 750, then followed by the Rams. So with that being said, you got 2 of the 3 favorites right now to make.
Ted, I don't know if you could see this. I'm gonna just show you. This is from NFL. They all have the Buffalo Bills winning the Super Bowl this year. So everybody is ride or die with the Buffalo Bills. So this is all on them. The pressure is no greater than any team in the NFL than the Bills.
So I would say absolutely. This is definitely a possible preview. I would say if you missed yesterday's show, tune in, because of what I would say is the thing with the Rams is it will be based on Matthew Stafford's elbow. If Matthew Stafford's elbow, as we talked about yesterday's show when we previewed the NFC West and we talked a little bit about college football, is how will Matthew Stafford's elbow will it impact him?
Will it stand pat?
Well, will it impact him at all in the Rams offense at all? Will he be able to throw 50 times? Because when he shows up at 8 o'clock or 8:35, when probably the kickoff will eventually start after all the hoopla, are we looking at a preview? Absolutely. Here's another great storyline to them. We have Von Miller. Now you talked about the the emergence of Matthew Stafford last year when they traded for him, when they traded Jared Goff, the multiple first-round picks to bring in Matthew Stafford. Was it a home run? 1,000%. But what was the finishing move? What was the closer move to finish off the season last year? It was picking up Von Miller right before the trade deadline that I think put the Rams over the top, having Von Miller and Aaron Donald. They were a dynamic duo throughout the playoffs. They caused havoc throughout. Everyone struggled with that pass rush. There is no Von Miller on this Rams team, all right? Now, where's Von Miller? He's on the Super Bowl favorite Buffalo Bills. This is the first time since 1991 that the Bills will be a Super Bowl favorite. So, what's this all mean? The pressure's on the Bills, bro. There's so much. There is an abundance amount of pressure. As you said, Trev, you just gave me a little picture on your phone and you blah, blah, blah. Everyone is picking the Buffalo Bills. Right now, I'm not going to say the predictions, but when teams are such highly favorites, they never live up to the expectation, to the billing. Something happens, injury, or just you get a situation like last year where the Cincinnati Bengals come out of nowhere and steal the thunder. So, but I would put it this way: if this is your preview and this is your prediction for the Super Bowl, it's not a bad prediction. I still think the Rams are the class of the NFC right now. And the Bills right now, with everything, they can go 5 wide. They picked up James Cook in the offseason out of the draft. They still have Devin Singletary, who really took off in the end of the season. Zach Moss, the running back out of Utah. They can go 5 wide. Gabe Davis. Last time we saw Gabe Davis in the Buffalo Bills last year, Gabe Davis had 4 touchdowns, and they were 13 seconds away from hosting the AFC Championship game, and they
that's
lost.
The thing. That's why the Buffalo Bills, how much more heartbreak can you have? This is it. This is what the Buffalo Bills have been dreaming about. Buffalo Bills, the Bills Mafia has been dreaming about for forever. You think about the heartbreak that they had with Jim Kelly going to 4 straight Super Bowls and losing every one of them. The way they lost to it, whether it was Scott Norwood hitting it to wide right or just getting demolished by the Dallas Cowboys. You think about this team and what they have on paper. This team is a Super Bowl team. They should be the favorites because, to me, like I said, if we look back a couple of weeks, about a month or so ago, we did our top 10 quarterbacks. To me, they have the best quarterback in the NFL, and he's going to prove it this year in Josh Allen. So let's get into it very simply. Ted, I'll start with you, and we'll just get into the Rams. The Rams, they win tonight how do the LA Rams continue their Super Bowl? Well, let's not see they have a hopeful Super Bowl hangover. But how do the Rams win tonight?
Well, I'll say 2 things. One is it's Sean McVay's offensive IQ. Is he able to out-duel Leslie Frazier? Because when we're talking about this Bills defense, they were number 1 against the pass last year. Only gave up like 165 yards a game. They will be without their starting cornerback Tre'Davious White. He's on the PUP list. He will be out for the first 4 games. Though they do, like I said before in the previous segment, they will have Von Miller. They will also have Ed Oliver. They'll also have Gregory Rousseau that they drafted last year out of Miami. So their pass rush should be much better, which should help their passing game. Jordan Poyer is back from an injury that he missed most of the preseason. We know what he produces. He's a Pro Bowl player. Micah Hyde is the other safety. They're the captains of the defense. I think you look at their other middle linebacker. Oh my God,
Tremaine Edmonds.
But here's the thing. For me, you said why? How did the Rams win? I think the Rams win like they did last year. Feed Cooper Kupp the ball, let him get first downs. I love the big pickup of Allen Robinson. I think he'll have a great game because I think the Bills are going to look at let's stop Cooper Kupp or contain him. Can't stop him, but we only hope to contain him, as Stuart Scott would say. I think the Rams, they have to run the football. They have to run the football. They have to control the clock. Don't make Matthew Stafford throw the ball 50 times. I would say at the end of the game, if Matthew Stafford has thrown the ball more than 44.5 times, the Rams lose. If he throws the ball less than 44.5 times, the Rams win. That's because they have controlled the clock. They've controlled the line of scrimmage. And that's because my thing is this. Offensively, I think the Bills have one of the best offensive, if not the best offense. They can go 5 wide right on first down. They can spread you out. And the Rams don't really have the defense to contain that.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen is such a weapon, both throwing and running, that I don't know if the Rams will have enough to contain him. So the Rams need to control the clock, keep Matthew Stafford under 45 passing attempts, win a game. I would say in the 20s. Game gets to the 30s, Bills have a better chance.
I know.
I think it's a very. I think Cam Akers, Darrell Henderson, they have to run the ball, control, and then do what the Rams used to do is play action pass. That's what Matthew Stafford was great at. Hit Allen Robinson on the deep routes. I know they'll be out with Vance Jefferson, but they still have Allen Robinson, they have Cooper Kupp, still have Tyler Higbee, still have a lot of weapons on the outside. I don't know if you saw the joke too. Odell Beckham tweeted, he will sign with whatever team wins tonight's game.
Yeah, these are two teams that have been heavily involved in the OBJ sweepstakes, so we'll keep an eye on that going forward. But to me, I know it's such a cliche saying, but this is a line of scrimmage type game for both teams. I'll get into the Bills in a second, but you got to think, Andrew Whitworth, he ain't coming through those doors. Or Austin Corbett is also gone. So they're replacing two new guys, Joe Nope, boom, and Coleman Shelton. The two new guys on this offensive line, they're going to have to step up because you looked at how this line was last year. This was solid. This was a great offensive line. It kept Matthew Stafford healthy. It had one of the most high-octane, explosive offenses in all of the NFL. It's going to be a tough task for both of these offensive lines to think that they got to start week one against both these defensive lines. The pressure that's going to be involved. I know it's so cliche to talk about because, offensive line, but it's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. You win these football games, these type of games, by winning inside the trenches. Whoever can win the line of scrimmage battle is usually the ones that ultimately prevail. And for the Rams, they just got to play their game. They have to just continue to do what they did last year and kind of go off of that, continue with that because of the fact that, look, it worked last year. I know that with the Allen Robinson addition, I think that's going to be a huge deal. And also, we didn't even bring up, Ted, they got a Hall of Famer in the middle linebacker now, Bobby Wagner. And then you got a quarterback of your own right on that defense.
Well,
you got Donald, you got Bobby Wagner. Hold on. You think about the three Hall of Fame talents that they have at all three phases of the defense. Ramsey, and Wagner. You have three legitimate Hall of Famers. You have three of the best at their position. That defense, you lose Von Miller. I get it. But they still got Donald. They still got Greg Gaines, Bobby Wagner, Leonard Floyd, who has delivered since coming over from the Bears to the Rams, and then A'Shawn Robinson. So this defense, I know that Von Miller's not there, and he's not going to be playing on this team, but this defense is still stout. They're going to get after the quarterback. To me, it just comes down to, can they continue to go off of what they did last year and replicate what they did last year? If they can, this Rams team is going to be another, could be having a repeat champ if they continue. But this is a huge test for the LA Rams. I'm going to get into the Buffalo Bills because I want to start this. Ted, this is a very, very simple answer. Protect your franchise. Protect your franchise at all costs. Protect Josh Allen. And that's another thing. This is a new offensive line as well. Hold on. This is exactly. That's another thing. But they also have some new additions to this offense and the offensive line. Roger Saffold and Ryan Bates are the new guard tandem. And why do I say the guards? Well, they're going to have to be going against a guy named Ted. Do you know this guy, number 99? Unless you're Urban Meyer, you don't know who he is. But do you know who that 99 is on that other team?
Anthony Davis.
Oh, yeah, Anthony Davis. Exactly. Same initials, AD. Yeah, Anthony Davis. No, Aaron Donald. This is what you're going to have to face. Talk about these offensive lines. You get the great task of taking on two of the best defensive lines in all of football. You have to protect Josh Allen at all costs. He's your franchise. He's your future. He's the reason you'll get to a Super Bowl. And if you got the chance to take a look, Ted even mentioned a couple days ago about maybe, hey, we got to keep quarterbacks healthy. You don't keep this quarterback healthy, do the Buffalo Bills go make a change and go try to find a Jimmy G if available? But forget about that. We want Josh Allen healthy, and I want to see Josh Allen. To me, like I said, the best quarterback in the NFL. I know people will say Patrick Mahomes. I know Rodgers, Brady, all the conversations. But to me, this guy is the best quarterback in the NFL. He's going to deliver like this. And look, I know people could say, oh, well, they didn't win the game last year. No, it wasn't Josh Allen's fault. He went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes. Also, Stephon Diggs has to step up and emerge as the number one receiver that everybody likes to say he is and one of the top 10 receivers in the league. Because the last time these two met, it was a slugfest in Buffalo, Ted. It was during the COVID year, and it was one of the better games of the NFL season. Jalen Ramsey went against Stephon Diggs. His stats for that game, 4 receptions, 49 yards. Now that's a credit to Jalen Ramsey of how great he is as a defensive player.
Yeah, but I would say to this Bills offense now is much more stout.
Yeah. I get it. I mean, look at the weapons.
And that's the thing. If you want to build up to the Bills win is, I would say spread the Rams out because the loss of, I had it right here, the loss of Darius Williams and Von Miller. Darius Williams, their number 2 cornerback, which, people don't look at that as a key part of the Rams, but that was a key part of the Rams even. Also, Eric Weddle's not there. I know they picked him off late just for the playoffs, but, the Bills right now can go 5 wide. You can put Dawson Knox with Gabe Davis, Isaiah McKenzie, Jamison Crowder, Stephon Diggs. They could spread you out and throw the ball all the way around the field. And here's the thing. Their quarterback is not a statue. He's one of the best runners in football. We know what he can do. I had a stat before. What was it? Last year in the playoffs, in 2 games, Josh Allen against the Patriots Chiefs had 637 yards passing, a 77 completion percentage with 9 touchdowns, no picks, 149 passer rating, also added over 134 yards of rushing in those games. So what do I say? The Bills win, spread them out, offensive weapons, throw the ball all around the field.
Yeah, but they can't be too they can't be too relied.
Well, here's my thing. Like
you said, Ted, hold on. Like you said, Ted, I'll get you to your point. Like you said, you got to run the football.
Yeah, but if the Bills could spread the field tonight and just use your weapons, use the whole 55.5-yard field or whatever, make the Rams play the whole full length of the field, make Wagner and Donald chase them all around the field because you can run draws. I get it. The Bills have to run the ball. They have to be able to run the ball. That's been one of their weaknesses. Even though last year I just saw a stat, they were 5th in rushing. That part of that has to do with Josh Allen's ability. I don't want Josh Allen running the ball that much because every time he runs, there's an opportunity for him to get hurt. I don't want him running the ball that much. Bills, like I said with the Rams, have to be able to establish some type of running game because you don't want to make this a one-dimensional game where we're throwing the ball, and Aaron Donald can just line up and just fly. And Leonard Floyd, like you said, Leonard Floyd coming off the thing, Ashawn Robinson, you could just let those 4 guys up front just cause havoc, which they have done for years. Okay, the Bills have to be able to develop some type of running. But my thing is this: when I went back to the Rams, keep this low scoring. Well, I said in the 20s. Bills, let's push this to 30. Let's get this in the 30s. Let's get this 31, 38. Let's score points. Let's spread the field. Let's run up tempo. Let's use all our weapons because I would say this: we have the best quarterback in the game. We have some of the best weapons in the game. We have mismatches. Dawson Knox could be a mismatch in the middle of the field. The Rams did struggle with their linebacker play last year defending the pass. Like you said, you got Diggs. Okay, Jalen Ramsey shuts him down. Who's guarding Gabe Davis? Who's getting McKenzie? Who's getting Jamison Crowder in the slot? We can put James Cook in the slot.
We're also not taking this into consideration.
So there's a lot of weapons that the Bills have at their disposal tonight. Listen, I'm very interested because here's the other thing. And, we did the who's going to win and what's going to win and if this and that. But you got the Bills coming into the LA Rams Stadium tonight, all right? The Rams are the Super Bowl champs. The Rams are the underdog at home. So my thing is this. How do the Bills play with this expectation? The Bills have, except Trevor, like you started the show off, they haven't had this expectations since the Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, Jim Kelly years, right? They haven't. They are literally the dominant favorite. It's like everyone is picking the Bills already to win the Super Bowl. Yeah. I worry about the Bills with everyone picking them to win the Super Bowl because that never seems to happen. No team ever in the beginning of the season, that is the dominant team. That's the team that's going to win the Super Bowl, and they win it. That never usually happens, ever.
Well, the past couple of years, some people like the Buccaneers. People thought the Bucks.
When the Bucks won the Super Bowl, wasn't it? The Bucks are going to win the Super Bowl. Well, can Brady? Can this work out? The new pieces, blah blah blah. It wasn't that the Bucks were definitely going to be the dominant team. It was Green Bay. It was this team. It was that team. Then last year, were the Rams prohibitive favorite to win the Super Bowl? Not like the Bills. Not at the same extreme. Maybe they were one of the 5 best teams.
The Chiefs and the Bucks were the favorites last year.
Hold on, I will say one other thing, and I want to put this stat in before you finish up. If this game comes down to a one-possession game, in the past 3 seasons, the Bills are 0-6 in one-possession games. They fail to close out games in those close-knit games. I don't know why or what so, but look at the Tennessee game last year. They fell short. Patriot games, the Chiefs game, they have fallen short in close games. So they either lose or they blow everyone out. And last year they blew a lot of teams out because they play in the awful AFC East. So I'm excited for tonight's game. The hoopla, the crowd. I mean, listen, it's going to be open at night. You're going to have the national anthem. You're going to have the Star Spangled Banner. You're going to have the flag. You're going to have the TV. It's going to be crazy. Super Bowl champs, the rings, Aaron Donald, Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford, you name it. Star-studded event tonight. And I hope it just lives up to the billing. That's what I hope for as a fan.
My final take on this and how we're going to close out. Let's see how this Buffalo Bills offense looks like without Brian Dable.
Ken Dorsey. Yes.
Ken Dorsey's the new regime of Ken Dorsey as offensive coordinator. Heard great things about him. I feel like he's going to be fine. But let's see how this offense transitions from the Dable offensive era to the Ken Dorsey era. Also, Kevin O'Connell, Vikings head coach, new Vikings head coach, is not there anymore. So we'll see how these offenses move forward with their new offensive coordinators. I can't wait for it. We're mere hours away from the NFL season officially being back, and it's going to deliver like it always does because the NFL, as we always know, like the SEC and college football,
it's a home run.
It's not that. Like the SEC and college football, the NFL remains king in the sports world. And ladies and gentlemen, the boys have fallen back until February. Let's enjoy the ride. We'll see what happens.
More like Aaron Judge, the only guy clutch for the New York Yankees.
Yeah, well, that's another story for the New York sports right now. Baseball, Yankees, and Mets struggling a little bit, but we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Are you gonna make?
Yeah. I wanted to make a prediction for tonight's game. Actually, thank you for. I was about to I forgot about that. I'm gonna go Buffalo 28-24. We're gonna go 28-24. Buffalo. I don't know
Rams,
what.
I have the Rams win at 27-24.
27-24. What was the over? I think the over under is like
51.
Is it?
I think it is. I think it is. I don't know. That's probably right now.
People are not going to like us.
I have the under. It's probably 151.5.
So we're both on the Bills.
Yeah. No, I'm on the Rams.
Oh, you're going with the Rams tonight. Okay.
And listen, here's the thing. If you ask me who I think the better team is, I think the Bills have a better overall team with all the pieces, with the addition of Von Miller and
they're
James
probably the more complete team. I agree with you on that.
But here's the thing. Are they ready for the hype, man? Are they ready for the hype? And this is something we'll talk about on tomorrow's show when we preview the rest of the NFL season. But now the Cincinnati Bengals, there's no more sneaking up on people. All right. Josh Allen's predicted to win the MVP. The Bills are predicted to win the Super Bowl. Are you ready to live up to the hype of all this hoopla? Because it's a whole nother ball game when you're expected to win and when you're just a sleeper team coming up. This is the best team that the Bills have had under Josh Allen, or in general, maybe in the last. Damn, I couldn't tell you the last. I don't know, but this is gonna be a fabulous game, and I think this will set the tone for the rest of the NFL season.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are Keys to the City. We'll see you next episode. We're out.
You are now in tune to the Keys to the City podcast.